All right. Welcome to another episode of the Profitable Christian Business. I am so pleased to have my new friend, Matt Blanchard, with me back on the Profitable Christian Business podcast. We talked a lot on the last podcast. He has such an amazing story. It could not fit into one podcast. And we're going to dive into the second part of that. You're going to leave this episode inspired, encouraged, and ready to take on the world. I know this. So buckle up. And get ready because we're gonna have a good time. Matt, where we left off last time was you had an accident. You were paralyzed. Started going through a little bit of addiction, and now can you lead us? Can you walk us into that and then kind of?
Yes.
I know where this is going, but can you take us
Yeah.
from there to what happened next?
Yeah. So let's see. This was probably 15 years post injury. So let's be 2021. Exactly 15 years actually. And I'm walking. I put my wheelchair away. I have a single point cane, and with long distances, I would use a walker. And my little girl, let's see, she got married September 25th of 2021. And we had practiced walking down the aisle and doing the daddy-daughter dance and all these things. And it was amazing. So I had a plan. I was heading down to Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was late at night, 8 o'clock. And I'm in the slow lane. I got my cruise control set at 80 miles an hour. And out of nowhere, something hits me. And I have a dash cam, and it recorded everything. It looks like I hit a bush, but what it was an impaired driver. And they were traveling northbound on I-15. I was southbound. And what had happened is she was impaired. She was cruising through traffic, and when she came into the fast lane northbound, she clipped a guy, sent her down through the median, and she went through a bush and cactus, took out her front headlights. And at 8:30 at night, she hit me head on. So 130 mile an hour head on impact. And luckily, I was wearing my seatbelt this time. What it did with her, it literally just sheared her car right in half. And her, unfortunately. She didn't make it. And what it did to me was it shoved me down where the brake pedal and the gas pedal's at. I had a compound fracture of my tibia and my fibia on my left leg. So my foot was upside down and backwards. It was the craziest thing ever. And so I grabbed my foot and kind of put it back down where I thought it should go. And I could feel the bones sticking out of my skin. And then as I tried to push myself back up onto my seat. And as I did that, my femur was broken. So my right femur was broke. My hip was broken. And I'm sitting there in the car. My truck starts on fire. Crazy.
Ooh.
And so if you can picture this, you've got my truck on the shoulder of the slow lane, her car on the shoulder of the fast lane. And I could see her moving around. But I didn't know what had happened. We have got two semi trucks that are stopped in the fast lane and the slow lane, and then Lifelight had came and landed on the other side of us. So you got two headlights from tractor trailer trucks, our vehicles, and Lifelight, and so the traffic was backed up forever, and it took a little over 2 hours for the second time cut me out of that truck with the jaws of life,
Wow.
and for a second time be put onto a gurney. And when they cut my door off, they transferred me onto this gurney. My body just fell apart. It was nuts to see. But this is how annoyingly positive I am. Is they transferred me onto that gurney. My right leg and my whole hip, it was just the weirdest thing to look at. It was just all the way over there. And then my foot's upside down and backwards. I'm bleeding everywhere. And I turned to the paramedic and I'm like, I'm so glad I'm paralyzed, man. I can't feel any of this. And that is how, but it's taken a long time to see the positive in situations, and not look at the negative. It's so easy to go to negative, but they put me, I've got this brand new kitty and she's underneath, but anyway, so they put me into the helicopter and for the second time, and they start airlifting me. And when we're in the helicopter, you've got the two pilots, the nurse in the back with me, and then me on that gurney. And the nurse in the back says, hey, you're busted up, you're in pain, we're gonna push Dilaudid. And Dilaudid is a pain med. And I say, I can't have Dilaudid. I'm 8 years clean off of pain medication. And he said, look, we got to push something. We're going to push ketamine. And I'm like, hey, I don't know what ketamine is. So they pushed ketamine, and I kid you not, never had ketamine in my life. I'll never have ketamine again. But I'm listening to people talk with these headphones on, and I look over at this nurse, and it's a horse's head inside
Oh,
the
wow.
cat. Oh, I am in a different realm, man. I don't even know where I'm at. And luckily the nurse knew, and he's like, "You're all right." And I said, "Where am I?" And he's like, "You're in a helicopter. We're taking you to the hospital." I said, "No, what galaxy am I in? Like, where am I?" It was the weirdest
Whoa.
experience ever. And he's like, "Look, 12 minutes. 12 minutes will be there." So we're there in 12 minutes, and they take me out of the helicopter. They start doing X-rays and MRIs, CTs, all these things again. My right foot was obliterated. My left leg, the bones were so crushed up so bad they had to put what called a external fixator, and that's on the outside of your leg, and they just try to hold the bones as close together as they can so they'll fuse. And then for the second time, man, I have spinal fractures, and a piece of the bone goes into my freaking spinal cord, and for the second time I'm paralyzed again. So 15 years of therapy every single day so that I can walk my little girl down the aisle. And by no fault of my own, it that fast life changed. Again, life changed. And I mean, I'll be honest here. I was in that truck, busted up, and I just kept saying, "No way, no way, no way," just over and over and over. I would just kept saying, "No way, no way." So hard to believe that this has happened again.
The
Oh,
probability of that is just
I'm the only one that I
ridiculous.
know of on the planet that's happened to, and just crazy. So I finally get to the hospital, and they say, "Hey, we got to go in for surgeries again, like a bunch of surgeries, and we're going to need to put you on pain medication." I'm sorry. So they put me on morphine with that little clicker, and the moment that pain medication hit my veins, instantly, Satan snatched my soul again. It, and I'm talking instantly. It just, there you are, there you are. And I got rid of him once, but to be honest with you, I didn't want to get off pain medication the first time. And I certainly, for the second time, no way, man. No way am I going to do this again. And it took me, let's see, I've only been clean, let's see, September, 2 years. I've only been off pain medication for 2 years is all, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Yeah,
congrats on that.
thank you. And thank you. It's the hardest, this is the toughest thing I've ever experienced in my life is withdrawals and opiate dependency. I know we talked last time about uh, labels, and I will not carry a label of an addict or a recovering addict. I went through addiction twice, but I'm not, if I say I'm an addict, where does that start? When does that stop? And so I'm going to carry that label the rest of my life that I'm a recovering addict. No, I went through addiction. I went through depression. And some of your listeners right now may be going through depression, but you're not depressed. Don't label yourself something that doesn't serve you. And I just won't do that. I will not label myself with anything that doesn't serve me. So,
Yeah, there might be plenty of people that are listening that are also going through addiction, and I think your story could be inspiring to them because an addiction is many things. It doesn't necessarily have to be
uh,
pain meds, right?
ah, brilliant. I mean, yeah, addiction is many, many, many things. And if you're going through addiction right now, and especially speaking of an opiate dependency, here you go. People who are addicted right now are not going to like what I'm going to say next, but here it is. So when I was dependent on pain medication, people would come to me, my family, my friends, whatever, and tell me, "I think you've got a problem." And instantly that triggers me, and I get angry, and I dig in, and I justify my pain. I justify why I need, and I'm mad and upset. Well, that's an ish me, not an issue. That's
Mm.
important. That's an ish me. So if somebody says something to me in my life and I get triggered, that's an ish me, not an issue. And that's something that I need to go to work on. Like like Doug, you could say, "Hey Matt, look how green your hand is. Look how green your skin is." And I'm gonna look at you because it doesn't resonate with me. And I'm like, "Hey Doug, okay." But if you were to say, "Hey, yo Matt, I saw you interacting, and here we go. This is honest truth. Saw you interacting with your wife the other night, and I think, and let's say you and I were close enough that we could have this type of conversation.
Hmm.
And you were to say, "Hey, Matt, I think you could probably improve your marriage in this area, this area, and this area. It bothers me that da da da." That stings, Doug.
Hmm.
Why? Because you're speaking the truth, and it hurts. So I
Hmm.
can either get angry and justify why I treat my wife the way I do,
Hmm.
or I can say, you know what, Doug's coming at me from a place of love. I'm not going to get angry or upset at him because this is an issue me, and thank you for bringing the issue to me. So that's the way I look at things. So if you get triggered by something in your life, that's an issue, not an ish me.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode.
As a Christian entrepreneur, we want to give you something for free. If you go to clientsforthekingdom.com, we have an ideal client avatar generator on there for free. It's something that we've spent thousands of dollars on, countless hours out, in building out this structure of showing you who your ideal client avatar is and an offer stack that can work for your business.
Enjoy the rest of the episode. Yeah. I I have to go here. I have to go here just because of recent events that have happened. What you say resonates in a societal realm. Like how many people are so self-absorbed that it's them against the world, and they're not seeing their own faults.
Right? And you grow through your faults. And if you can't even recognize or see your blind spots, then you can get down. Then what are you gonna? I mean, what are we doing here, right? And that's why people can get so upset and cantankerous and me against the world, because that's the energy you're putting out to the world, and that's how the world will respond, is you against the world, and it will manifest that in ways, crazy ways. So if we can just tweak our mental game a little bit, that I'm abundant and I all these the good stuff, then the world's going to find a way to get that to you. So
It's almost too simple, right? If you go into the Bible, and one of the commandments that is the most powerful, love thy neighbor, right? If we all just use that, love thy neighbor, right? It changes so many. You've changed your perspective that way.
yeah, I talk about when I come and speak at different groups is that we all have wheelchairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter how big the group is, or if I watch everybody come in with their wheelchairs. And I'm lucky, truly, that I show up in the world in a wheelchair. And because the whole world sees my wheelchair, everybody's nice to me. And I'm talking everybody's nice to me. People get the door, people get the cheese for me at the supermarket because they see my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And my life is hard, but it is no harder than anybody's life that's listening right now. Swear. And I would not trade any of your life for mine. Wouldn't do it. And if we could see everybody's wheelchair, because Doug, you've got a wheelchair, brother. I know you've got things you're going through. So if we could all see each other's wheelchair and love thy neighbor, because thy neighbor is going through something, and stop making this thing about me. Because it's not about me. It's about us. And if you can get out
Yeah.
of the me mentality and start making it about us, whether that's your church group, whether that's a business in your family, stop being the victim. Stop being the victim. I know that's hard, and it's probably hard to hear. I know this little guy, huh?
No,
But if
he's a special guest.
yeah, I'm making a special appearance. But the victimhood, the victim thing, I just I'm not a victim. Life happens for me. It does, man. It so whatever's happening to right now in your life, it's happening for you. And as soon as you can realize that, and I know you're going through some hellacious things, and you could say, Matt, you don't understand. And guess what? I don't. I don't. Like loss of a child? No way. Nope. Cancer? Don't know. But I do know what loss feels like. I do know what despair feels like. I do know that the weight and the heaviness of going through depression and not even have the energy to roll over it. I get it. I've been there. I get it. I get it. I get it. It's happening for you. It
Yeah.
truly is.
How
So
can I ask you? Because I know that was your perspective even during the first incident. How did you hold on to that perspective? Because I know it had to be hard, that perspective during the second time.
the second time was much harder than the first time. So what happened the second time is now you know. So the first accident was at 30 years old, and I didn't know. I didn't know, and I dumbed myself into success just
Mm-hmm.
by continuing to fail and tweaking something until I could get my outcome. The second one, realizing, do I have 15 years in me again? Here I am 50 this time, not 30.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have that to do that again? And the answer is no, man. It is. Now, but I do have it in me to do my best every day, but I can't compete. A 50-year-old man cannot compete with a 30-year-old man, especially yourself. And it would be foolish to
Mm-hmm.
think, it would be
Mm-hmm.
foolish to try to do that. So I have to take inventory where I'm at in my life today and do the best with what I have uh, today. But the second one, knowing what was in front of me, oh my gosh.
If I could just interject here for a second, I agree with you on the 50-year-old can't compete with 30-year-old, except mentally you're stronger, spiritually you're stronger, right?
100%. I would agree 100%. So boy, yeah. So my relationship with Christ and God has evolved. I went from extremely religious growing up, extremely religious, to agnostic, to uh, just didn't believe in God at all. And now, so in that second accident with my dash cam, there's 3 seconds on my dash cam of absolute silence, nothing. And in that 3 seconds, I passed. And I had an afterlife experience. And I can tell you right now, and I don't, this is the first time I spoke of it on a platform like this, but what's coming next is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There aren't words to describe it because I'm bound by the English language and by this creation, God's creation. But I will tell you, I do not have faith that there's something to come. I know that there's something to come after this. Um, I no longer have faith that there is a God or Jesus Christ. I know this. Um, and as crazy as that is, or not crazy, but I have tried to take my experience and instill this in my kids and my wife, and they are still skeptical and they still have doubts. And it's so crazy when you're shown something that hey, you're doing great things and this, that, and the other, but you're not reaching your potential, and you're given gifts, and I'm giving you these gifts. So why are you not using these gifts? So
Mm-hmm.
that's basically in a nutshell what happened to me. And we could, that's a whole nother thing that to go into what happened when I passed. But yeah, what's to come? It's like orange, vibrant. I don't know. We don't communicate with the English language. We interact. So Doug, so after this, you and I will interact. And so basically, I'm letting you into all the files that I want you into, and I can keep my personal files still to my own if I want, but you will have a perfect understanding of paralysis, a perfect understanding of my triumphs, perfect. No words are in the way, no emotions are in the way, no misunderstanding, perfect understanding. They're still mine. They're
That's
mine,
beautiful. That's
bro,
because that's the breakdown right there. Is
bro.
people just don't understand.
I am telling you right now, and what we're doing right now, this experience is 100 years. We'll say 100 years. in the now what I'm going to explain, this is what I experienced, everybody, so I just take it for what it's worth. So in the aspect of 100 years, that is literally less than the blink of an eye, less than the snap of a finger. When we're talking about eternity, and we always go linear with time. After this, things are not measured that way. They're measured spherically. And there is no linear. We always have been and always will be. So the question is, why then if we've always been and we always have been and always will be, where's the information? Well, eons, if we would have brought eons of information with us down to this experience, it would ruin the experience. Mm-hmm. Because we would have all our failures before, it would ruin the experience. So the veil, or whatever you want to call it, that we agreed, hey, we're going to come down here and we're going to learn different things. We're going to be challenged in different ways, and we only have that long. That's it. But think of all the stuff we learn that fast. If we will stop fighting it, and what's the lesson to learn? Because that's why we're here. So that when we do pass over and go to that orange, bright, vibrant, amazing, wonderful place, that we're not stuck in the challenge that we came down here to overcome. But we've avoided that challenge altogether, because that's how big the challenge has always been for us, and we've been avoiding it. Well, heck, I'm so stubborn. It had happened to me twice. And God had to take me by the neck and say, I'm so frustrated with you right now. You're doing great things, but you're not reaching your potential. And when somebody does that to you, there's no more hope, or there's like, think about your dad grabbing you by the back of the neck and saying,
yeah,
there it is,
so
man.
Let's talk about you had spoke that you were agnostic before. How has this transformed how you share God with other people, or to the extent?
So I acknowledge that everything on this planet is God's creation, and I mean everything. And because of God's creation, everything obeys His command. I believe that to my core. So people might be listening, saying, "Well, then why not stop this, that, and the other?" And again, it's my opinion. The lowest form of fact is my opinion, my experience, that God's been doing this for eons. And I believe that He has interfered in the past, and He has stopped these catastrophic events or protected these children or whatever. And by doing that, it hasn't turned out well. And because He has all this information, has run this test or whatever this is so many times, He understands, look, it's this long. Yes, there's pain and suffering for this long. And then they have all the knowledge and skills that they wanted to come down here and do anyway. I'm just providing them the opportunity. And sometimes we don't take that opportunity. We want to blame God, or we want to do it. There it is again. It's not about you. It's about us. And so going from agnostic to not a believer at all to now knowing, that was a crazy ride. That was a crazy freaking ride.
Yeah. Wow. Can you talk about so the first time you talked about your support system a little bit. Did you have more confidence? What was your support system around you like the second time? Okay.
Yeah, the second time, I still have the same support system. And this is no knock to anybody listening that's in my crew, but I kind of give off the aura, I give off the energy of, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. But my people show up for me, man. Like my friends and family, they don't call and ask. They show up for me. And I think that's a lost trait in people, that we just need to show up rather than saying, hey, what can I do for you? Just go do the doggone thing.
Yeah. You know who you really realize, I mean, this is cliche, but it's cliche because it's true. You really know who your friends are and who's there for you when the chips fall.
You know what? And I've had friends that, that I thought were friends that never showed up, and still to this day, even through the second, still haven't showed up, and I blew me away. And then you have other people who are just there for you, and you just don't know the impact you've had on people, or how it's crazy. But if you surround yourself with positive people, you don't really have any other option than to be positive. It's true. So get rid of negative people and negative thoughts, and realize
And
that everything's happening for you.
and just to go back to loving your neighbor, one of the
Oh,
things that we talk about a lot in our community is leading with value, right? How can you deliver value to this person? That's an act of love, right? Like I just want, however I can serve you, help you. Um, I know that I just want to do that out of selflessness, right?
yeah, yeah. You just don't know what other people are going through. I spoke to Utah Tech's uh, student athletes 2 nights ago, and I had them all line up on the fence, and we're going to race for money. Okay, 40-yard. And so I line them on the fence, and I say, okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. If the answer is yes to these questions, take 2 steps forward. And it's a team building exercise. So the first question is, if your parents are still married, take 2 steps forward. And some girls do, some girls don't. If you had a father figure growing up in your home, take 2 steps forward. Some girls did, some girls didn't. And you go all the way down. If you've never had to help your parents with bills, if you've never had to worry about your cell phone being shut off, if you've never had to worry about where your next meal was coming from. We had 3 girls that never took a step forward. 3.
Wow, wow,
And then we have others go, and some of the other questions were, did you have access to private education? Did you have access to a tutor? Just all these questions. And at the end, you've got these girls who are 10 feet from me, and these other girls who are 40 yards away. And the exercise, I had the whole team turn around, look at everybody else, and understand, look, we all come from different places and different families. Our job is to help other people come along. So we still have to race. And I tell the girls in the back, this is life. You still have, you have a choice. You can either run this race, even though you know you're at a great disadvantage,
mm-hmm.
or you can quit. What are you going to do? And the girls that were up front, I just wanted them to understand that they had more opportunity in life, but they all ended up at the same place. And these girls with more opportunity, which one, in my opinion, with the one on the fence, am I picking the one on the fence, or I'm picking the girl that's 2 feet away from me? I'm picking the one on the fence, because that girl grinded, and you know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
raced, and what was so cool is the girl that won it, she went back to the other 3 and like, hey, let's go and get, I think they went and got ice cream, and she learned more about them. So yeah,
Can I speak on that just for a minute?
please.
Um, it is crazy. I've had several people come on this show that immigrated here from another country. When we talk about disadvantage,
Mhm.
we as Americans don't realize the opportunities, and sometimes we are just coasting through, not taking advantage of what is available because we're just comfortable, right? When someone comes from discomfort and sees a multitude of opportunity, they tend to strive harder than us that may be just coasting along, right?
Yes,
So
you hit it on the head, and I would come back. We talked about last time about the tokens that God. So we're all given the same amount of tokens, the same amount of gifts. What are we going to do with those gifts? And I would think, knowing me the way I know me, that it probably didn't happen this way, but God's, hey, who wants paralysis? Matt, I'll take paralysis. I'll do the paralysis thing. And I'm back there with my group, and I'm probably back there with you too. And then paralysis comes up for a second time, and you guys are all nudging me, hey, I bet you won't do it twice. I bet you won't do it twice. And I'll do it twice. I'll take paralysis. And I really think we know what we're getting into. If we've chosen this and we know ourselves, you've never let yourself down in the past. Why would you start today? So whatever you're going through, you've got the things you used to worry about when you were 5. Guess what? Your future self took care of it. So what you're worrying about today, your future self's already taken care of it. So chill out. That's what I would say.
yeah, I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like God knew your character. He knew you'd struggle, but he knew your character. If he had given this to anyone else, they wouldn't have handled it the same way. And he knew that you were going to be a champion for him through this. Maybe not every piece of it, but you would eventually become a champion for him, and that's why it happened to you, right? Because anyone else wouldn't have made it.
I agree. And, and we talk, the scriptures tell us about, Christ and enduring all things and the Garden of Gethsemane and things. And it's only clicking right now, actually, Doug, to be honest with you, is that the way we interact after this, that's why he has a perfect knowledge, like literally a perfect understanding, because there are not feelings. There are, but there's not words or anything. Like, that's how this works, man. That's how he has a perfect understanding and why he suffered so much, because that hurts. But yeah, that just clicked for me right now. So thank you
You're
for
welcome.
that.
And just to go back to your other thing about, there's lots of tragedies that happen in the world, and we are not living in the Garden of Eden, right?
Right.
Heaven is not here. So we need to remember that, and that God knows, like, he has infinite knowledge. He knows that this tragic occurrence creates this good over here, right? We don't know that, and we're not meant to know that. We're not meant to know all the fragments that happen off of something. So
No, I 100% agree with that. 100%. That we get caught up in the why. Why is this happening to me? Why? And believe me, I ask that a lot of the times. And when you're in the trench going through your challenge, whatever that is, and you can't even see the light of day because the trench is so doggone deep, the last thing you want to do is get on Doug's podcast and listen to some guy in a wheelchair saying, "Hey, this is happening for you." Though I promise it is. And you're listening today, which means you're growing, which means you're gonna make it. It's temporary. It's temporary. Keep grinding.
yeah, keep grinding. What I always say is keep moving forward, right? Like, all you can do is keep putting one foot in front of the other, get a little bit better every day, and eventually you're out of that trench, and you're looking back
100%.
and like, man.
Yeah.
So real quick, I think we can kind of land the plane here. Is it a daily thing for you? Like, do you have to think about your outlook every single day? Do you have to kind of?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So, but it gets easier. So now I'm just wired that way. But truly, on my mirror in my bathroom. So we've got double sinks, and on my mirror, my wife wrote 20 years ago in sharp in marker, "What kind of day will it be today? You decide." And I see that every morning, and I have every morning for 20 years. And you decide. I get to decide. And so for 20 years, I'll look at that. Even if I'm sick with a urinary tract infection or whatever, I'll look at that and I'll be like, "I'm so grateful that I'm sick today because I know this is temporary." And I can appreciate being healthy so much more if I just lean into being sick. And it's a different way of looking at the world. It really is. Like, everything serves me. Everything serves me. No matter how horrible that thing might be or how great that thing is, it serves me in one way or another. I'm selfish that way for sure.
Um, I thought that was going to be the last question, but I have to ask you this question. So, how do you define? Because I think this is going to be very important for anyone listening. How do you define success now compared to before either accident?
Okay, so success before my accident was monetary, 100%. And you could see that's how I measured success. You just pulling up to my house, you would be like, "Oh, this guy doesn't make a lot of money. This guy's in debt to his freaking eyelids." That's what was happening. So that was how I measured success, was just my company, how big I could grow that, how much money I could bring in, what I could provide for my family. Like, we would go on family vacations, but I wasn't there. I would fly into Mexico for a couple of days and then fly back out. Like, it wasn't, yeah. Success back then that was skewed big time. Success now, I'll tell you. So we have Sunday dinners, and my kids, I've got 3 kids, and my son-in-law, and they were down in my oldest son's old bedroom, and they were playing around doing whatever. I went down in the hallway to get them to come to dinner, and my wheelchair is very quiet. So, and they're talking, and they're talking about how I'm their hero, how
Oh, wow.
bro, and yeah,
That is awesome.
I just sat and listened to my kids talk about me. And I wasn't trying to be their hero, Doug. I wasn't, man. That was never the goal in my life to be my kid's hero. And I don't know why I didn't think that. It is now.
Mhm.
Tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So success now, um, I'll say it this way. My definition of success now is doing what I want, when I want, with who I want.
Mm.
And
Freedom.
I'm very successful. I am. Like I'm on this podcast with you today because I want to be here because I want to touch as many people as I can on this planet. And when my job's done, God will take me. And
Amen.
you know, I look forward to that day with great anticipation to be freed from this thing. But I don't want it happening today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like the Kenny Chesney song. We all want to go to heaven. We just don't want to go today.
exactly, man.
Mm.
Yeah. So if that's my success, being a dad is I killed it as a dad, man. Just listen to those kids, and I can say that I didn't know. I didn't know that was special. So I think, and you know, success in my mind is what legacy will you leave behind? If you wrote a book about yourself, are you the hero? Are you the, you know, would it inspire others to read your life's book? If not, then hey, you're the author. Change it. You know.
Yep.
Um,
We've all heard of the person that was successful and then they have the funeral and hardly anybody shows up, right? They had all the money and all that, but they treated people so horribly while they were here that nobody cared for them.
like I mean, and I know that this is very fresh, and I'm not one way or the other on this, but look at the impact that Charlie Kirk had on the
Mm-hmm.
world, on the world,
Yep.
and that is what I'm after, man.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
kind of
I'm after.
legacy.
I'm after hugs. I'm after high fives. I'm after fist bumps. I'm after celebrating humanity. That's what I'm after. Being kind
Amen.
to your neighbor. Yeah,
Yep. Bold.
love your neighbor.
Bold. Yeah, he's such an inspiration, and no, and the evil that thought they were taking
No,
out, they took him out, but they didn't take out his power.
right? That dude, that was the catalyst. I mean, that was the You got people globally talking about
Mm-hmm.
this guy and his message that
Yeah.
never even knew. Yeah, that was just a catalyst. So good job,
Yeah.
Charlie. Good
Yeah.
job.
Exactly. Yeah. Um, just like I've seen many of the meme, and I believe it's so true. He's running up the stairs to heaven, and his Jesus is saying, "Well done, good and
Yes,
faithful servant."
absolutely, man.
That's
Yeah,
that is the legacy that I want to live up to. I want to have that where Jesus is saying, "Good job."
and that guy was the epitome of what a husband, what a man. You know what I mean? Like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That jacked with me, bro. That jacked
Yeah.
with me, and still does.
Yeah.
That situation. It screwed me up. It did.
Yeah. It was heavy. All it's. I mean, it's still. I'm still processing it all.
Right? And I think the nation is so with your listeners. How do we right the ship, man? Yeah, by loving your neighbor. It's truly that simple.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. It is crazy how simple it is, but we fail to do it.
So what's the hang up? Why? Why?
It's
Why?
it's 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 like it's in the Bible. It's the love of self. It's the pride. Um, we love ourselves so much it's hard to love someone else,
Mm, mm.
right?
It's something else, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. When we think first of others instead of thinking of ourselves, right? Um, and it's hard in our sinful conditions. It's hard to do that, and that's why heaven's going to be such a great place.
Right. Oh, and it is, you guys. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, normally I end the episode. I think with is there anything else that I'm still gonna end it there. Yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience that you felt like has not been said um, in this episode?
Yeah. If you call your parents and tell them you love them. Call your mom. If my dad's passed, I wish I could have one more conversation with my dad. Call your mom. If there's something that needs to be forgiven in your life, please forgive. It being resentful towards someone else is like you drinking poison and thinking it's going to affect the other person. It's just not. Forgive them. You don't have to forget, but just forgive and let go of that energy.
Yeah.
Love your kids. That's what I got.
I wish I had the Bible verse in front of me. I'm doing a better job of learning exactly what the verse says and where it is. I've actually got an app on my phone that I'm trying to learn scripture every day. But there's a verse in the Bible that says it basically hurts your fellowship when you cannot forgive. It hurts your fellowship with God because, and it's in the Lord's Prayer: forgive trespasses of others as you have forgiven me. Right.
Right. Now, I've heard that in the Bible, the Quran, so all that the words that are used the very most is "be not afraid." Be not afraid, and so I would counsel everybody listening: you got this. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. We all know the end result of this experience. None of us are getting out of here alive. None of us. So it truly is about the journey, not the destination. And I'm talking about everything in your life. It's about the journey and enjoying the journey, enjoying the grind. And just remember, God says it over and over and over. Be not afraid. He's got you.
So we're taking this plane back off for a second.
All right.
I feel like because I hate to leave things unsaid, and I feel like there's more value here. Fear is the opposite of faith, right? When you think about it that way, it is the opposite. So if you operate in fear, you're not operating in faith.
100%. When I go and talk to religious sects, the only thing more powerful than fear is hope, is faith. The hope that you can get over this, whatever the scary thing is. You're 100% right. You want to conquer fear, then have faith that will happen, and you'll do it. You really will. You'll do it.
And
So it's your mind is one heck of a powerful thing. Every morning I do the exact same thing every single morning. I wake up, I'll look in my mirror while I'm brushing my teeth, do my thing, then I do my affirmations. I'm enough, I'm abundant, I am light in the dark place. People are drawn to me. All my I ams. So you say I am, and whatever comes next after I am, the most powerful thing. And your mind does not know the difference between a lie and the truth. It does not know the difference. So if you continue to tell yourself, I am abundant, like one of mine is hundreds of millions of dollars is attracted to me. I say this every single day, and people, but if you're saying I am broke, I never have enough money, all these, of course, because that, where energy goes, or let's see, where attention goes, energy flows, or where energy flows, attention goes. So stop with the fear mongering. Stop with the I'm not enough. Or ladies, you're enough. You've always been enough, and you're beautiful. Guys, you're the man, and you got this. And you truly, you've got this. If I can go through paralysis twice, and I am a unique individual for sure, 100%. But if I go through paralysis twice, through addiction twice, and all the garbage that comes with addiction, you got this. You do. You got it. You got me. You got Doug. Reach out. You don't got to do it alone.
That's
you don't
right.
have to do it alone. All my socials are down in the bottom. Reach out. If you don't, that's an issue, not an issue me.
Yeah. So one last thing, and then I do want to direct people to where they can find out more about you. This is on the top of my head. Joy. I think we need to talk about the difference between joy and happiness for a minute, because if we could leave anybody with joy, I want to give people joy.
I love it. Me too, man. Me too. So the way you find joy, the way I found joy was being me and falling in love with me and being the unique me. So you've got love, you've got hatred, you got anger, you got all these emotions. The strongest emotion is authenticity. Look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Promise. I think it's something like 4,000 times stronger than love or hate. Authenticity. So be the authentic, goofy, funny you, because everybody else is already taken. Everybody's taken. So just
Yeah.
be you and watch the world look at you and in curiosity saying, what is that? Because if you're trying to be Matt Blanchard, well, you're going to fail because there's only one me. There's only one. If you try to be Doug, if I try to be you, I'm going to fail, bro. There's only one you. So be the authentic you, the goofy, and believe me, the guy, the boyfriend you're looking for, he's going to be drawn to your authenticity or the vice versa. Dudes, the girl you're after, be the authentic goofy you. Don't try to be somebody you're not. They're already taken. And then that person is drawn to you and your uniqueness. So authenticity, be you. And joy, when I first got hurt, joy was stripped from me, man.
Mm.
I still laughed at jokes, but joy was gone, like gone. And the way I found joy again was fall in love with myself again, and finding purpose. You do those two things, you're going to be a happy person. You really will.
Can I give you my perspective on joy versus happiness?
Please.
So to me, joy is rooted in faith, right? I'm there are times when I'm not necessarily happy, but I have joy because I have peace. Joy more equates to peace to me than it does happiness. I have
Mm-hmm.
peace. Like I know this situation is going on, but I have peace because I know who my father is, right? I know who he does all things for my good, right? And I have peace in that. And I know this is not my home. I know I have a better home waiting on me, right? So there's so much. That's to me is joy. That is peace. That's why when somebody really has joy, when someone interacts with them, they don't understand it. Like especially if you're going through a difficult situation, how can you act that way, like, and still like seem like you have peace?
Right. Right. You have to tell you start mentally, and the guys, I keep it simple for the guys. If you're in a dark place right now, just anytime that negative thought comes in, cut it off. I'm the man. Yeah, but nope, I'm the man. But I'm the man. 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 And you tell yourself something enough, you believe it. And I'll tell you guys, I'm the man. Like I'm the man. I
Yeah,
do hard things, man. I am the man.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Do hard
And
things.
and ladies, you're enough. You've always been enough and you're beautiful. So anytime a negative thought, I'm enough. I've always been enough and I'm beautiful. Even if you don't believe that, ladies, you say that. I'm enough. I've always been enough and I'm beautiful. You say it enough times, you will believe it and be the authentic you and watch your person be drawn to you. So
Yeah, so good.
yeah, there's joy for you. That there in my life, that's the difference between joy and being happy is the relationship you have with yourself and God. And and that relationship with self is a direct, mirror of the relationship with God.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you brought that piece into it because I feel like it's hard to have joy without having God.
I lost joy because I abandoned God. I can attest to that 1,000%. 1,000%. And you're going through life and it's almost numb. It's dull without this without a thought or without a belief of a creator or a energy or something bigger than you. That is a very gray, numb place. And I've been there for years and years. I've been there. Now my relationship with God is a lot different than anybody because it's mine. It's
Hmm.
unique to me.
Yeah,
And believe me and God have gone at it, you guys. Yeah, me and God have gone at it because life
he's okay
is
with
not.
that.
You
That's
bet. He's
he's
a
okay.
comforter, man.
Yeah,
He is the
exactly.
comforter. He's your. That's what he's there for. That's his job. Yell, scream, kick. It's not fair, and it's not. It's
Yeah.
not fair. Life is not fair. and it's never going to be fair, ever. And until you can get out of that mindset, you'll be a victim. It's not fair. It's never going to be fair. It's not fair for anybody. Start seeing people's wheelchairs, and you'll start seeing, holy crap, life isn't fair. I better stop complaining, put my big boy pants on, and go. That's what I come across.
So good, so good. So I told everyone at the beginning of this episode, this was going to be inspiring, encouraging. It's going to make you want to go,
go get it done.
Go get it done. Exactly. Go get it done. Exactly. So where can people go to find out more about you, what you have going on? Book you to speak, all those things.
I'm a public speaker. That's what I do for a living. And you can go to any of my socials and you'll see my tree link. If you just go to Matt Blanchard on either Facebook or on I think it's Matty Blanchard. Yeah, Matty Blanchard 3 on Instagram. We also have our nonprofit, Southern Utah Adaptive Sports, where we help anybody with any type of deficit. Golf, again, ride horses, mountain bikes, you name it, it doesn't matter. We will get you doing your thing at Southern Utah Adaptive Sports. So that's what me and my wife do. Our life is committed to service. And maybe, Bill, that's why I'm so happy. And maybe that's why life is so freaking good for me all the time, because I get to interact with people like you, which pours in and fills my cup. And then my cup just overflows into others. And so many people don't fill their damn cup. You got to fill your cup first and let it overflow into other people.
Yeah.
So go to my socials, find me. I would love to come to speak to you, your groups. I'll give you the tools to build teams. I mean, change culture, give you a different perspective on life.
Man, so good. So we'll put all those links below. I could see a third episode somewhere down the line, but
dude, we should make this a reoccurring. You know, like how Joe Rogan has his staple guests. We'll just do this every quarter, 4 times a year. We'll do this.
There we go. Because there's always so much good stuff shared.
Yeah.
So those links will be below. Make sure to go check out that and book Matt to speak to your organization. Or obviously, if you've listened to this episode, or even if you've just watched a reel and somehow got to this portion of the episode, you know the impact that he can have in shifting things for you, for your organization, and all that good stuff. So,
and for whatever reason, I've got a gift with kids, man. So if anybody's listening and you are struggling with your teenagers or your kids, God has given me a gift with kids, and I'm offering that gift to all of you right now. I don't charge. This is the first time I've ever even talked about this, but I'm inspired to talk about it. So this is where I'm supposed to say. So if you're struggling with your kids, I'm not joking. God has given me a gift, and I would love to talk to your kids. I don't even know what that looks like, but if you're struggling with your kids, I know that I can have an impact on that relationship.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt. I'm sure there's going to be some people that'll see this and take you up on that, and that they'll see the transformation that their kids have. And I want to hear those stories once they happen. So
you know, and it's awesome for everybody that's listening to. And I know we're going over. A lot of the times, kids see their parents as knowing it all, and then they get in trouble. Well, this is my first time being a dad. You weren't just born. So this is kind of stuff that I give you kids to think about. Your parents are doing the best that they know how. They don't know how to be parents. Like, I'm a brand new grandpa. I'm learning how to be a grandpa. You know, so you just talk to the kids. I become very vulnerable with them, which establishes trust, and then we start breaking through some boundaries, man. You get these kids crying and talking about some real stuff. It's powerful. It's transformative. It's amazing. So anyway, gosh, I'm rambling.
No, it's all good. So until next time, anyone that's watching, so you say entrepreneurs, but now I feel like so many other people watch this other than just entrepreneurs. So until next time, everyone, keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Dig in, dig deep, get it done.
My stop button. I don't know why the stop buttons. It just still wants us. Oh, it's trying to reconnect. Maybe we weren't even recording that last little bit. I hope not. Because the stop button.
It says 74%, whatever that means, up in my left-hand corner.
Oh, Well, it's trying to upload, I think, then. But it looks like it's saying trying to reconnect. Make sure you have a stable internet connection. But I see like 4 bars at my internet connection. So I don't know what's going on there. So I guess we have to sit here for, for a minute. If anybody's watching this live.
So that thing will,
yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody's watching this live, I wish I had somewhere where you could post questions on here because we could probably just answer them. But
so let's see. What was one of the questions? Oh, one of your questions was when I started my company, like what stops people from going? And this is big. This is because my wife is guilty of this big time. She's a perfectionist. That is not a good quality. It's just not. Because you want everything perfect. You want everything just right. And it's never just right. So the best time to start your company is right now. Right now. Because there's going to be things along the way and hurdles that there's blind spots that you don't see, that you don't know about yet, that you're going to. So how do you plan for something that you don't know what you don't know, but you know how to start? So start and dare to fail.
I always say the most important action is the first one. The first action.
I'm quick to a decision, and then I'm very slow to change that decision. So rather than making a decision and changing that all the doggone time, all over the place, make a decision and then just stick with that and surround yourself. Before my first accident, it was very much my way or the highway. And it's going, I don't care. That square peg is going through that round hole. Watch, it's going to happen. So the biggest thing I've learned through my companies is it doesn't have to be my way. And my way isn't always the right way or the most efficient way or anything like that. And I need to get out of my way, let my employees do their thing, let my kids do their thing, let my wife do their thing. And I need to be teachable, coachable, and pliable rather than just, you know, my kids, you know, even from a wheelchair, I'll change out transmissions and motors and all that kind of stuff. Well, my oldest boy, he's changing his oil the other night, and I come out and I start telling him what he needs to do. And he's like, no, watch this. I'd never even thought about doing it the way he did it. So much faster, so much cleaner, everything. I was blown away. Or I could have been like, no, do it my way. But now I learned, you know? So anyway, through my companies, that's what it doesn't have to be my way. And if I'll just get out of my way and let my leaders do their thing and have trust in them, a lot of the time, 90% of the time, it turns out better than the way I looked at it anyway. So
yeah, the smartest people surround themselves with smarter people.
Yep. Yeah, you bet.
You hear it time and time again with a lot of successful entrepreneurs. It's like, I'm successful because I hired correctly, because I knew this person could do this and this person could do that. And I left them alone to do it.
In the companies that I have built, and you know, and you're building your culture and things like that. I did hire a guy one time he was the best salesman, most knowledgeable. He'd been in the trade the longest and the most cantankerous. Okay?
Wow.
And destroyed the other, like numbers wise and money, killed my other 2 salesmen. But as soon as I got rid of this guy, which was a heartache for me because he was my best guy, the team exploded and we did business exponentially. So you're one guy that you think is keeping you afloat or is pulling the train or whatever, that might be the person that's got to go. And that's a hard decision.
Well, that's so good for any of the business people watching this, especially if you're really, no matter where you are in your stage of your business, the culture is more important than that one person.
Yep.
The culture can change the trajectory of your company so much.
In 1 second, man. Yeah, and then, oh yeah. If you can't get rid of the bad apple, it is true. Well, we've talked about cliches. They're cliche for a reason, and it'll spoil the bunch.
Yeah. Way back before I was an entrepreneur and I was in corporate, I was known as I was a manager and I was known as the nice manager, but I fired more people than anybody else did. And it's because they would just let the cancer, the other managers would just let the cancer continue to spread.
Yeah.
Right. Where I would cut it off and everybody liked that. They actually liked that I took the right people out of the equation,
Right.
or the wrong people out of the equation in that scenario. But because it made everyone else perform so much better.
Well, and now how much more respect your team has for you, because this high performer, even though we knew that I mean, that's good. It's a hard decision, because as a business owner, you're looking at the bottom line,
Yep.
you know, and this guy is producing for me and these other two. So what do I do? And here's another, I listen to mama, you guys. I do. I listen to mama. Mama's never wrong. She's not. And in life, like if I'm driving down the road and I need to go, I think I need to go right, but mama says, hey, we need to go left. I don't even, nope, don't question it, nothing. We go left. Trust in your wives, you know, Think and Grow Rich. If you've not read Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich. And there is an entire chapter on your relationship with a woman and how that woman will either make you or break you, and how powerful a couple together on the same page, doing the same things with doing God's work. How do you stop that? How do you stop those people? You
That's right.
don't, man.
That's right.
You just don't.
Yeah. So wow, there's a big underlying message in there about the power of a good marriage.
So we have so many things we can talk about, bro. Yeah, this is going to be a staple thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. All right. So it still won't stop. I don't know what to do. I do know I have to go soon. It's not,
because mine still says 74%. It has
it
red.
still says 74% now too. But usually when I hit the stop button, what it'll do is it'll continue to upload. So the upload's not really the issue. It's just not being able to stop. I wonder, I hate to try and refresh the page and see what happens, but I feel like that's the next step.
Do it.
All right.
It's happening for us, man.
All right. We just switched sides.
Did it work?
All right. I want to see if it'll stop now.
Oh, yeah. See, because
Okay.
I've got
hopefully it's still uploaded. Thanks for checking out the Profitable Christian Business Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.